Most anime movies have their own original story and sceneries that always caught our attention for us to see, in which leaves us on an emotional state every time the story begins to unfold. Since they are well made, it gives you the desire and motivation to watch it over again to enjoy the moments no matter the genre. So just sit back, grab some popcorn, and enjoy today's video. To the Forest of Firefly Lights. Hotaru is a 6-year-old girl who always spent her summer vacation on her grandfather's house in a small town. One day, Hotaru gets lost in the woods and mysteriously ends up seeing a guy with a fox mask. This weird and mysteriously individual turns out to be a yokai spirit who lives in the woods his entire life and helps Hotaru back to his grandfather's house. By the time, Hotaru visits every summer the forest to see Jin, who at the end build a strong friendship. The thing is that Jin is not allowed to be touched by a human. Since he is a spirit, he will disappear forever. Hotaru does anything in her power to not touch Jin and spend most of her time with him. Napping Princess. Kokone is a high school senior who lives with his single father after her mom passed away in an accident when she was young. Her dad gets accused of stealing a car with a well-known company in which result getting arrested and leaving Kokone alone. Because of the situation, her father warns her to not trust the person who accused his father of stealing. The plot twist of this movie is when Kokone sleeps, she dreams about the sceneries that she is currently experimenting and presents it as a fantasy. The Girl Who Leaped Through Time is about a high school girl who acquires the power to travel back in time. She uses it practically on her own personal benefits, but little does she know that these changes affect others around her just as much on her own. A Letter to Momo. After his father passes away, Momo moves to Shio with his mother to start a new chapter. But that wasn't the case with Momo, since she's still grieving for his father. Later on, she finds a letter written by his father incomplete only with the words, "Dear Momo." Unexpectedly, she sees and meets some creatures that will help her be a support to overcome the death of her father and be happy with her life. Colorful is about an unknown soul that is placed in the purgatory and is given a second chance. But he will not be the same as before when he was alive. He will be in a different body of a child named Makoto, who committed suicide and is about to part ways. Once he's placed in Makoto's body, he starts to know the reason he committed to his suicide and starts to feel for him. But he has a little time to figure out how is he going to live the life of Makoto, even though of the past. He needs to fix it before it's too late to live again. The Boy and the Beast. After her mother passed away and his father doesn't take responsibility, 9-year-old Ren becomes an orphan and lives under the streets of Shibuya. One day, Ren went to a place in which resulted to be an imaginary world of supernatural creatures. Ren then becomes friends with a supernatural creature called Kumatetsu and goes into many adventures together. Weathering with You. Hodaka ran away from his hometown and moves to Tokyo. He then later meets this mysterious girl who has the power to control and manipulate the weather. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. It's about a high school boy who works on a library with another student named Sakura. One day, Haruki went to the hospital and found a notebook hanging around. With curiosity, he opens it and realized that the person was ill and he was going to die. What he doesn't know is that the notebook belongs to Sakura. Now that he knows her secret, Sakura decides to spend time with him during her life until she dies. Fireworks. It takes place in the town of Moshimo, where Norimichi, a high school boy, is forced to study on summer with his other classmates. On that specific day, the Moshimo festival was going to take place. He later then feels an attraction for a girl in his class named Nasuna. But it becomes a little bit complicated because his other friend liked Nasuna as well and tells Norimichi that he will confess his feelings for her. Norimichi and his friend went to the school pool to do some chores, and Norimichi finds out that Nasuna is there as well. Norimichi's friend asks him to compete with him on a swimming race in which later on Nasuna joins in. Natsuna told Norimichi and his friend if she wins, they will have to obey on everything she wants. At the end, Norimichi loses the race, in which Nasuna asks his friend to go to the festival with her, in which conclude on a broken promise. Norimichi later then finds Nasuna waiting for his friend disappointed. What he doesn't know is Nasuna is leaving the town forever since her mother is going to get remarried again for a third time, and the festival was an escape route for her to run away from town. After Nasuna's mom takes her away, realizing she was going to run away, Norimichi finds a strange pearl in which Nasuna told him earlier that she found it on the beach on her way to school. He gets upset by the fact that his friend broken his promise to Nasuna and starts to wish if he could have won the race, nothing of this wouldn't have happened, and throws the pearl on thin air, in which results going back in time on the scene of the race. And Norimichi resolves to be the winner. Since Nasuna's goal was to run away forever with him, Norimichi tells her about the secret of the pearl and does anything in his power to run away successfully. A silent voice. Bullied during her elementary year by a classmate because of her deafness, years pass and Shoko is at her high school year and finds out that her bully is in the same city she lives on. The classmate who hunt her on her elementary year is Shoja, an awkward and lonely guy who has no friends. When he finds Shoko passing by, he remembers her and wants to build a friendship and apologize to her for the things he had done and does anything to regain his trust to Shoko. Your name. Two different persons who are destined to meet each other by time. Taki and Mitsuha become connected, and when they sleep, they exchange their bodies with each other. Since this happens, they write to each other notes to know about each other and does anything in their power to meet in real life face to face, facing complications on their way. We've reached the end of today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and don't be shy to write down below which movie is your favorite and how many times you have watched it. I really want to know. Practically all of the movies I mentioned, I have seen it more than 3 times. Anyway, until next time.